and welcome to another leg of the Heart of England Way, this 102-mile long distance path. We're here in the village of Long Marston. As you can see, we're parked at the Mason's Arms pub, and we're going to walk down to Mickleton on our route down towards the Cotswolds. Hope you enjoy it. Long Marston currently just has the pub and this village shop, but it has been earmarked for expansion into a modern market town. So this is the point where in the last walk we carried on south as we left the Heart of England Way. We are going down Wire Lane. I'm going to leave the village of Long Marston. So this is the Greenway, which is an old railway line that runs from Long Marston all the way up to Stratford-on-Avon. So you could head that way up to Stratford, and the end is just down there, not too far down that way. But we are heading straight across over there. So the first few fields had sheep in them, so I've had to have the dogs on the lead, so I'm really hot already. And now we have yet another broken stile, and the footpath just goes along there next to that fence. So I'm going to have to find a way to get Bailey over. Danny will be easy. Whew. Getting over that stile was not easy for me or the dog. Well, a lot easier for the dogs than me. So that's, oh, going to trip over a dog. That's another one that I'll need to report to Warwickshire County Council, because it's bad enough the stile's been inaccessible pretty much on minor footpaths, but this is not only the Heart of England Way, it's also the Monarch's Way, I think. So somebody definitely needs to see if we can get that stile fixed. It's a bit dangerous. Anyway, we're over it, we're carrying on. I'm surprised how overgrown the path is, because, unless it's because that stile's so wrecked back there. Because as I said, this is the Heart of England Way, and it's always, footpaths have always been reasonably well walked. And you think particularly in this second half of the long distance path, as you're getting so close to the Cotswolds, that it would be walked more often. But it's slow going. And I'm wearing shorts. As you can see, this is definitely still the trail for the Heart of England Way and the Monarch's Way. But oh my God, it is such slow going. As you can see, nettles, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Finally out of that horrible overgrowth and brambles, just crossing this road, heading straight across there. It's really warming up now. Even though we come out pretty early, it's definitely warming up. I've got Danny on the lead because there's sheep in various adjoining fields. And although that is a very thick hedge, he is quite a little thing and can wriggle through gaps. So, slightly harder for me getting towed along by a little spaniel. And not quite so exciting for Danny, but he'll cope. A lot easier to walk this section, that section through the undergrowth and the brambles and the hawthorn hedge that was growing into the path. Oh, that was slow going. So the Monarch's Way, which this footpath is partially following, is a, I'll put the actual number of miles up on the screen, but I'm going to say it's a 300 and something mile journey, or a 500 something mile journey, following the route of King Charles I when he was on the escape from Cromwell's army. And it follows his route, starts in Worcester, and it sort of loops around and then down to the coast and then back up and then across to Brighton. I think it finishes somewhere that way. And we're obviously sharing part of that route now. with the Heart of England Way, which I'm glad to say is a little bit more open on this section. So we are just walking through the village of Lower Quinton, and we've got about half a kilometre up this road, which will take us towards Upper Quinton, appropriately enough. Right, we've made it into Upper Quinton, and this is actually the start or end point of the Centenary Way long distance path. That is Meon Hill, there. And we're sort of heading up towards the base of Meon Hill, and then we're going to be turning right and heading alongside it. So as we come out of Upper Quinton, we've come past this house, which has got a nice fabulous garden. I hope the camera's doing it justice. Anyway, let's keep going up the appropriately named Hill Lane, taking us as it does towards Meon Hill. We are officially in the Cotswolds. Oh, well, you can see hopefully that the countryside behind me, if I do this, is lovely. We're on the edge of the Cotswolds, heading to Mickleton, and this is beautiful here now. It's hot, you can see, it's very hot. This is how dry it has been. Obviously the footpath doesn't have grass or anything holding the structure together, so it would, you know, dry out quicker. But look at this. I don't know if you can see them in there. Boys are cooling off. We are heading on that way. Right, this is the village of Mickleton. So we're going to make our way to the church, which is where we will leave the Heart of England Way and start our return leg home. So we're in Mickleton. We're just sort of wiggling our way through the village as we get to the church. Still on the Heart of England Way at the moment. Just heading down here. And here is the really beautiful Church of St Lawrence, which is the end point for us of our section of the Heart of England Way. Right, return leg. We are just going to head back into the village and then head back, partially picking up some of the path that we were on last week. So that is the famous Pudding Club at the Three Ways House Hotel. So we're just kind of wiggling our way around the back of Mickleton now. There's quite a lot of new build that's happened on the edges of the village. It's quite pretty. Well, I was blaming Warwickshire County Council for the terrible footpaths and badly maintained stiles. We're now actually in Gloucestershire, and as you can see, it's just as bad. No actual sign of where the footpath is. Oh, so across many fields, across this road, and now we've just got to go over the railway line and that way. Oh, I finally found some water for the boys to cool off in. Everything is so dry. This brook, just outside Long Marston, all right, Bailey, has allowed them to cool off. So we've come from that way, I'm going to head this way. So we came in the opposite direction last week when we did a loop round to Pebworth, so we're basically rejoining that path as we head back to Long Marston. So I realised I completely forgot to do a little conclusion to the video. We got to the pub and I was so thirsty we had a load of drinks to cool down and then drove home. I'm always trying to encourage people to try these walks for themselves. I would say this one I probably wouldn't. It was so hard going, it was so overgrown, my legs are shut to pieces. Can have a nice cold shower, wash all the stings off, and never mind, the next leg, Mickleton onwards, I'm sure will be a lot better. So thank you for watching and join us then.